What up? Happy 2025. What up, everyone? Welcome back to another law school video. My name is Tyler. I am a 3L at Columbia Law, which means I'm in my last year. If you've been following this channel for a minute, you know that it's been a minute since I've uploaded anything. You know, I was planning on making a video about what my 2L year was like at Columbia, and then everything that happened in the spring really had an impact on my mental, and I just didn't want to talk about it. So I am using this video just to give you some updates. You know, it's been almost a year. What am I up to? What's going on? Also, I'm taking the New York bar early in February. I'll talk about that in this video, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it. I'm actually done with all of my classes at Columbia, so woo, cheers for that. And finally, I'll be graduating in May, so pretty crazy. Okay, so as mentioned, my last video that I plan on making was going to be just a review of my 2L, which I have done for 1L and usually just try to do so people, I don't know, just have a better idea of what Columbia's been like for me at least. When I was planning on making that video, that's actually when the president called the cops on all the students, and it was really just a shit show. So I just did not feel like making that video for personal reasons, and also it was just a lot going on that I didn't want to invite into my life. I do plan on doing a look back at my 2L, but that will be a separate video. As I said, I'm done with taking classes at Columbia, so I've finished all my graduation requirements, I've done all my writing, I've done all that good stuff. I actually have a paper that is going to be published that I wrote about sex toys and regulations, so I'll link that once it's published. You know, I've just tried to find ways to make classes and school interesting while I've been there, writing about things that are interesting to me, things that I care about, things that I think are weird, like why aren't sex toys more regulated? So I finished all my classes. You know, 1L, obviously you don't really pick your classes. 2L, I got to choose all of my classes, and I'll say it was so much more enjoyable having that choice. 3L, still choosing all my classes, but as I said, I finished all my graduation requirements, so really my 3L year has just been doing things that I care about and wanted to do. So for me, that's been a lot of experiential learning. I wanted to get out of the classroom. I'm a non-traditional student who worked for 5 years before law school, so I really was itching just to not be sitting in a class and having so much reading to do every single week. So it's been so much more enjoyable. I really enjoyed those experiences, and I'll include those that I look back at my 3L year video. So currently I'm in the middle of studying for the New York bar. And I know you might be thinking, the bar, don't you usually take the bar after you graduate? Yes, but through New York State, you can do a program called the Pro Bono Scholars. So essentially what that is instead of taking classes in the spring, you take the New York bar early in February, and then you work for a free legal service for the semester instead of going to class. And so that was really appealing to me. Like I said, I wanted to get out of class. I went to law school to do tangible things and not necessarily just because I wanted to be in school. So, and also, as many of you know, I'm originally from California. I'm living in New York. So I'll be taking the New York bar early and working in New York after graduation. But through taking the New York bar early, I can take the California bar in July when most of my peers are taking the bar. That'll be really nice. It allows me to get both bars out of the way. You know, that's assuming that I pass the New York bar on the first try. I do plan on making videos about what my bar prep has been like, what resources I've been using, what my schedule's like. You know, this channel has always been meant to be informative, so it started with my LSAT studies, what has law school been like at Columbia for me, and now what am I doing for the bar. So as a first generation student, it's always been really important to me to make this channel actually helpful to people, just to provide insight on what my experience has been like. So hopefully, if you know, that can help assist you in any way, or you can use some tips or strategies that I've learned along the way. Hopefully it makes law school and just the legal sector more accessible and easier for you. Hopefully those videos will be coming down the line. Hopefully those will be helpful for you. And you know, it's honestly just so crazy to be making a video like this, thinking about how this channel started so many years ago and how that's kind of changed my law school experience. There's so many times when people either come to admitted students or I just run into them at Columbia, but it's just crazy. Like, it's so weird to think how different my law school experience has been because of this channel, you know, in good ways and bad ways, but I think overall very good ways. It's fun to just walk down the halls and see people who recognize the channel, and it's hopefully helped them. Usually people have positive things to say. Yeah, so ultimately I'm doing the Pro Bono Scholars Program. Not every state has a program like this, but you know, if it's something you're interested in, or if you're in law school right now, or you're planning on going to law school and you think that you would rather get out and help people, or you're public interest focused, it's a really, really great way. So that way you can take the bar early, get it over with. For me, it's just a really nice way to launch your legal career, doing the things that you care about and the things that you're passionate about, and really reconnecting with the aspect of service in the law before starting to work, so you can kind of get back in touch with whatever it is that brought you to law school. You know, for me, that was just trying to help people find solutions to their conflicts. So I'll be doing my placement through the Mediation Clinic at Columbia, which I've been a part of for 2 years now, which I'm so excited about. I love that professor. I really like the work we do. You know, essentially the program with mediation is you go to the court and you try to help people settle their problems. Usually it's people who don't have legal representation. It's people who have personal and business relationships with the person that they're suing in court. And I just have found that it can be such a nice way for people to settle their problems. There's, you know, usually intense conflict. People are usually pretty upset in our mediations, but you know, it's nice because mediation allows you to vent those emotions in a way that the court wouldn't, or the judge usually wouldn't. So yeah, I found it to be a really cool way for people to navigate their problems, maybe mend relationships or heal relationships without having to just litigate and come back to court and spend a lot of time and a lot of money and honestly a lot of emotional labor to try and resolve a conflict. This is such a different video from the videos I usually make because it's just kind of a check-in on where am I at and not so much a video of like, here's something that I did and the steps that I took and what I learned. As I mentioned, I'm taking the New York bar in February so that way I can take California in July. I am staying in New York after graduating. I'll be working here and I'm excited to live in the city, not living on student loans and actually having income. That's gonna be so crazy after 3 years of only seeing my bank accounts go down and my debt go up. Like, it's gonna be nice to have it be reversed for a little bit. But I do plan on taking the California bar. You know, Kyle and I, our families are all in California. A lot of our friends are in California. So I do just want to have that in my back pocket in case we ever go back to California. And the thought of having to take time off while I'm working to study for the California bar sounds so miserable, especially because I think most people consider the California bar to be the hardest bar. Whether or not that's true, who knows? But hopefully New York goes well. Hopefully that helps me build confidence to do well in California, but I won't be taking California until July, so I likely won't start studying until I graduate in May, which brings me to graduation. So graduation is happening this year. It happens in May. I finished all of my graduation requirements, you know, so those are all the classes and the writing and the extracurriculars or whatever that you have to do to graduate from Columbia. So I actually finished all those last year, so that way I could do the Pro Bono Scholars Program. We had to get them done a little bit early to apply. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to look at my transcript, not because of my grades. I mean, the grades are, it's crazy to look at the grades because they're not great, but it's crazy to see just like, I have like 5 writing credits, which you only need 2. You need a major and a minor. And it's like, how did I end up with so many writing classes? At Columbia, they cap it at 30 units. And they're usually like, you're not gonna hit the cap, don't worry about it. Literally had to take less units for one of my clinics last semester because I will be hitting the 30 unit cap. I am very much a student who is trying to get out of the classroom and into the real world and get some experience and just do other stuff than reading. You know, some people love reading, they love writing, that's their gig. I do like to read and write, but I don't wanna be in a classroom the whole time to do it. Getting out and getting that real experience was really rewarding for me. As I mentioned, I did it through the Mediation Clinic. I also had an externship at AMC Networks, so doing some entertainment law, which was really fun. It was so different from everything else I've done in law school, but it still connected kind of with my past in advertising and video games. So I don't know, it was fun. It was fun to get back into a creative sphere, especially when the lawyers there were so interested in the work they were doing. You know, they really cared about the shows they were making and cared about the actors they were working with. And, you know, there's so many different types of law that come into entertainment. You have labor law and employment law, working with different people on independent contractors contracts or talent contracts or, you know, whatever it is. You have licensing contracts, you have brand deals. So it was cool. You know, it was just a really cool way to get a lot of different experience, which related to my past career. So it was nice to feel like my past in advertising and video games wasn't totally useless, which usually in law school, like in my law school classes, it just wasn't as relevant. So, you know, keep an eye out for more videos. I wanted to use this video to really just say, still alive. The channel is not dead. Really excited to be wrapping up law school. You know, it's been such a slug to get through. It simultaneously went so fast and so slow at the same time. It's just crazy to think about, like all the things that have happened throughout my law school experience. Yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up there. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Like and subscribe, always appreciate it. I know I had a goal of beating Columbia Law's subscriber count for their YouTube account. If we do that, great. If we don't, it's totally fine. But, you know, I'll just say, this channel has been so great. I've loved connecting with so many of you. So many people will send me their stories or updates or questions or just things about their journey going to law school or trying to go to law school or completing law school. I've ran into people in real life randomly who recognize the channel, which is like crazy to me. Yeah, so the channel's just been really rewarding. I'm really glad that I've gotten to use it to build some community and make some friends, and that it's been helpful to you all. So yeah, let me know if you have questions. More videos to come. Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves, because it's gonna be a crazy year, I feel like, but we won't get into that. Yeah, and thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.